Hello there, friends and kin. It's been a while since we've had a proper Sunday service in the memorial park of the ancestors. I hope you're well, and I hope you've been well. I apologize to you for missing last weekend. My Mother's Day obligations took up a good chunk of my day, and I was just unable to set aside time to get out here. And on that note, a very happy belated Mother's Day to any mothers who may be watching this. I hope you enjoyed your day. It's a very, very, very lovely spring day out here. I'm going to pan around, let you take a look. All the green is back, and we're warm, but we're not hot. I think I've mentioned in the last few episodes weather here in the Carolinas been a little flip-floppy, a little non-committal. We've gone from highs in the 50s to highs in the 90s, and it's not too terribly uncommon, but this year it's just kind of felt a little extreme. And but I think we're finally starting to settle into normal spring. And this afternoon I'm enjoying a wonderful lunatic cigar. I love these. And not just the flavor, the construction is wonderful, flavor is wonderful, but I feel like the name just fits me. It just makes sense that I should smoke a cigar called Lunatic. So today, and I know our last episode we deviated from Horne's Witch's Devil reading, but I feel like that episode covered a topic that was important, and it tied in with several goals I'm working toward right now. And that was when we read from Lee Morgan's book, A Deed Without a Name, talking about uh, the testimonials from modern witches about how their interest in the craft first stirred. And I've met through my social media, namely my Instagram. Although I utilize Facebook too, but most of my posts that are specifically craft related I do on Instagram, where Facebook is just kind of more of my free for all. But I've run across several other witches who are looking to do they're looking to pursue very similar interests as me. But one of the things we have in common is a desire to have a sort of a networking group to help like-minded people not just find each other, but actually have meaningful conversation. So we've started a Discord server, and if you have any interest in that, you can reach out to me a couple of ways. I don't want to put the server's address out there in the open for anyone and everyone to join. I'd at least like to have a little bit of one-on-one conversation with anyone who wants to join it, and that's just to get a feel for who you are, and make sure what we're trying to build is we're all a good fit for each other. But if you I'll make mention of that in my videos periodically going forward. So use the link I provide in my video description for my Instagram. That would be the best way to get my attention and get in touch with me and start talking about it. If you're already friends with me on Facebook, feel free to connect with me there. And but either one of those platforms, you should be able to get a hold of me fairly effectively. So all that being said, we're going to pick up where we left off in Roger Horne's Carmina Magistra in The Witch's Devil. And today is going to be verse 7. I don't know if we want to call it verse, stanza. Um, you get the point. Two-headed is my beloved who stands sentinel at the gate. His gaze is soft and terrible. Witness to seen and unseen kingdoms. to all gone before and all yet to be, to all comings and all goings, all kindness and cruelty. Any who cross his threshold dire must meet his eyes and answer his riddle. His dreaming gate is hewn of wood, cut from a tree that never grew. Now this verse kind of mystified me the first time I read it, and really seemed like, I don't know, I was initially hit with that feeling of this doesn't make much sense. But I reread it over and over and over again. My apologies for the background noise. There's a main road just on the other side of where I'm standing, and it seems there's been no shortage today of loud vehicles. I was kind of trying to wait for traffic to die down a little bit. It became a moot point. I'd be waiting here until midnight. But this particular verse, I believe, is talking about the Master of Spirits in his liminal aspect, the Lord of opposites, the Lord of the in-between. Hence the two-headed, his duality, and how he stands guardian of the threshold. He sees both the seen and unseen, all that comes, all that goes. He's the middle point, he's the crossroads, he's the balance point. His dreaming gate is hewn of wood cut from a tree that never grew. That line, I don't know, for whatever reason, that was the one that hit me the hardest. And that's hard to explain why. This is one of those verses that really hit me on a really, really deep level contemplating it. Because when we look at how he fits into the practice of most of us that are on this page, one of the words that comes to mind is psychopomp. But he's the guide across these thresholds. He is the intelligence that stands in between stages and states, yet balancing amidst them all. And I think that's why it's befitting that he's called at the crossroads. Because he's there to guide, perhaps to even trick you into taking whatever path is going to achieve balance on a scale probably grander than we understand. Deep and mysterious is the Lord of Spirits. In the work of Robin Artison, he's described as the Lord of Wind, connected to the breath soul, blowing us this direction or that. Sometimes he hits us with tumultuous storms, other times a gentle, nourishing rain. But his job is to maintain that balance, and sometimes destruction is needed, sometimes nurturing and guidance. And I think that's the draw for a lot of us to it, is to connect with him in order to understand the nature of the path we walk and to use the light between his horns as a guide down roads we are unable to see. And his light teaches us to see. And in my personal experience, the times I've felt his presence the strongest has certainly been those moments where I was transitioning from one chapter of my life to another. He's yet to guide me wrong. Friends and kin, I hope you have a wonderful week. Let's do a card pull before we end things. Get a little bit of guidance. Today, I think I'll use my Fae deck. Four of Spades. Spades being the suit of conflict and struggle. Four being the number of rest, stillness, stability. Four of Spades can thus be interpreted a couple of different ways. I always think of it as the eye of the storm. Amidst the turmoil, it's that moment of peace where we can see clearly, or at least have the opportunity to. Get our bearings and figure out how to see our way through the rest of the storm. Amidst life's tribulations and challenges, it's really tempting to stick your head in the dirt sometimes. It's really tempting to just try to hide and wait for the storm to pass over, but sometimes holding your ground and just hiding from it gives the storm the opportunity to just bury you or break you down. Sometimes you have to act, and if you find yourself in that eye of the storm, take advantage of it. As things calm down, give you a chance to get a moment of clarity. Use that opportunity. Get your bearings. Put thought and care into what your next move is. If the storm runs you over, most of the time that's our choice, to let it. Take advantage of those moments of peace and clarity. Use them to reflect, use them to plan. Use your time wisely. Have a wonderful week, friends and kin. I'll see you next Sunday.